Greetings and salutations. This is Dr. Rob coming here with a quick commentary on the recent charges against former President Trump. I think it's important to talk about this simply because at this point it should be clear that Trump has a worse legacy than former President Richard Nixon. The reason I say this is that Trump has totally disrespected the office. There's acts being charged against the Espionage Act and these counts of the treatment of classified materials shows a blatant disrespect for the office. Unlike Nixon was a political pro. He was vice president to Eisenhower. Obviously, he lost when he first ran for president, going against JFK, but successfully was elected in '68 when former President Johnson, decided not to run. But by all accounts, former President Nixon was a professional. Yes, he was involved in the Watergate scandal, which was a disgrace. He was impeached. The threat of impeachment led to him to step down from office. But the thing that's really disgraceful about former President Trump is that he has a blatant disrespect for the office. I don't think there's ever been any president in recent memory that's displayed utter disrespect for the office. This goes against so many professionals within the government agencies of the United States government. And this is not me necessarily attacking him for being a Republican. For all intents and purposes, all Trump did was say what other Republican politicians think about. They just engaged in dog whistle politics. However, he said what a lot of people thought out loud. But when it came to governing, he basically governed as any other Republican president. So the disgraceful aspect of his legacy, in my view, and even though there's a chance that he could be elected, because I doubt seriously that he's going to go to jail, and these current charges do not prevent him from running for office. However, I think his behaviors are some of the most disgraceful for anyone who's ever occupied the Oval Office. And this is not me caping on the pros of being an American president, rather pointing out the lack of professionalism and respect for the office on his part that doesn't compare to any other president. So to be clear, this is not a criticism in terms of his racist views or anything of this nature. This is mainly saying that how disgraceful he's been for the office of the presidency. And it's also not me talking about any negative Trumper or getting into Republican issues. It's simply saying that compared to other presidents, former President Trump might be the most disrespectful to the office that there's ever been. And I think this recent indictment by the Justice Department and the treatment of classified materials is just another example. I'm not getting into the moral conversation in terms of Stormy Daniels and other people who sued him in all the recent cases, which he defamation lawsuit that he lost, but rather pointing out that this case that deals with national security documents is such a disgrace to the office of the presidency. And I think this is an example that demonstrates how Trump is a far worse president, will have a far worse legacy as a president than former President Nixon, who was, although disgraced by the Watergate scandal, nobody would suggest that Richard Nixon was not a professional politician that respected the office of the presidency. So these are just some brief thoughts from me, Dr. Rob. If you like, make sure to comment, hit that like button, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you again. Thank you for watching.